What inspires change? What motivates us? It's what's inside that moves us. What moves you? Get the Scion story at Scion.com.
On the evening of Saturday, October 19th, Guam Police and Guam Fire responded to a reported shooting on Chalon Emsley in Jigo. GPD spokesman Officer AJ Balahaja reports that it happened just after 8 p.m.
Officers from the Dedito Precinct responded to Chalon Emsley on a reported shooting incident, and that was a little after 8 p.m. Saturday evening. When officers arrived, they found a male adult and a female adult. The male is approximately in his 60s, female is about 25 years.
While Balahaja could not release the identities of the shooting victims, neighbors in Chalon Emsley identified them as husband and wife, 66-year-old Fulbu Petrus and 25-year-old Barbara Geiger. The neighbors did not want to go on camera or provide their names, but told us that Petrus has been living in the residence for more than 20 years. The neighbor says on Saturday night she heard 2 gunshots about 10 to 15 minutes apart. After the first gunshot, the neighbor says she received a call from Petrus's niece, who also lives in the residence, telling her that, quote, Petrus shot Barbara. Police had already been called, but the neighbor believes that it was while she was on that phone call with Petrus's niece that the second gunshot went off. Officer Balahaja says that when police arrived, the man was already dead.
The male was non-responsive and was dead at the scene. The female was still responsive and breathing, and she was taken to GMH.
The neighbor describes the evening as chaotic. Petrus's niece was screaming and crying on the phone. In the background, she could hear children crying, masking the sound of the second gunshot, believed to be Petrus committing suicide.
Well, all indications are that it is domestic in nature. However, we'll wait for the autopsy results to come out and determine exactly what the cause of death is and go from there.
The neighbor also told us that the couple had never caused problems in the past. She notes that the 25-year-old wife moved in about 7 years ago with their infant child at the time. The neighbor explains that she's heard some yelling in the past, but always assumed it was Geiger disciplining her children. Also, the neighbor says she was told by Petrus's relatives that the only witnesses to Geiger's shooting were the couple's children, ages 5 and 7 years old. After Geiger was shot in the head, the neighbor says the family went into a bedroom. No one witnessed Petrus shoot himself, she says. Meanwhile, Jigo Mayor Rudy Matanani assures neighbors on Chalon Emsley that everything is under control and that the neighborhood is safe.
Well, I can assure them that, I think this is a nice isolated incident, and they don't seem that there's any problem with any other bystander that might cause a problem. So I'm pretty confident that the community is safe.
Okay.
There's just some things that we cannot say about the investigation.